Okay, so I'm gonna try this new thing where when I get an inspiring thought in the morning from my morning pages, I'm gonna really quickly, obviously, I'm gonna write it and journal it for myself, but I'm gonna quickly just document on a video what a thought that came up that was pretty inspiring or pretty groundbreaking for me and share it because I wanna spread light on this channel. I wanna spread wisdom. I wanna spread goodness. And I think that sometimes the power of our voice, God gives us this gift of being able to speak in ways that can inspire people. And we all have different gifts to offer. And if this is something that I feel called to do, then I'm gonna listen to that. And so, minimal editing here because I have things to do. And so I'm gonna try to not mess up my words too much. So today's morning pages was all about not necessarily resilience, but more just like, what if this life was not about maintaining the perfect vibe all the time, maintaining the perfect energy, maintaining the perfect peace around you all the time? Like, what if life was less about trying to keep your surroundings perfect and stress-free and negative-free? And what if it's more about, okay, life happens to all of us. We obviously, like, negative stuff happens. Like, we get, even the really good people have negative things happen to them. You know, our life is not perfect. Life throws curveballs at us all the time. I wrote in my journal, what if life was less about maintaining this perfect vibe? And what if it was more about, how are we going to respond? How are we going to respond when our morning routine gets disrupted by something that happened to our car? How are we going to respond when we're in a good vibe on our way to work and we may get in a little fender bender with another car and have to take an hour or two to fix something? You know, how are we going to respond to life when we find out some bad news about something? And are we going to, is that going to ruin our whole day? Is that going to ruin our whole vibe just because life happened? And I say this because as someone, I'm not going to say used to, because I feel like I still, you know, we still have expectations of wanting to maintain this peace in our life. And as someone who, I'm very sensitive to energies, I'm very sensitive to who I surround myself with. I pick up on vibes. I pick up on, like, sometimes certain circumstances can make me feel more dark. Certain things that happen in my life can make me feel more dark, like dark energy. And because I'm so sensitive energetically and just in general, it's really easy for me to have this kind of stuff happen, like have negative things happen or things I don't plan for happen, and it's harder for me to bounce back. And I was journaling about that. Like, okay, that's not the point of life, is to not necessarily have a perfect life. It's not to have a stress-free life or a life where you don't have any troubles. And I think in our culture, we idolize a life of slow living and peacefulness. And yes, that's great. But like I keep saying, life happens to all of us. We can't escape that. We get the flat tires. We get the health issues that come out of nowhere. Like, it happens. That's why in my morning pages, I journaled about how life really, truly is a response to life. Our personal life is a response to the life around us. How are we responding to wanting to going to the gym? Are we responding without discipline? Are we responding with, I don't feel like going, so I won't go? Or are we responding to life with, I don't feel like going, but I know this is going to be good for me? How are we responding to life when we have free time? Are we using that free time to just scroll, or are we using that free time to be aware, to better ourselves some ways? Because when we better ourselves, we better the world around us. So how are we responding to life when we have free time? How are we responding to life when we come across a situation that leaves us feeling a little bit dark after? Maybe you witnessed something that was kind of dark and you're like, ooh, I don't want to get this, I want this image out of my head. It's going to ruin my vibe. Okay, but that happened. What happened. So how can we focus less on trying to make that vibe in our space perfect, and more about, like, okay, that happened. How can I respond to it in a way that's going to be kind? How can I respond in a way that's going to bring peace, that's going to bring joy? How can I respond to this thing in my life that happened, that I just witnessed, that caused me to feel dark? How can I respond in a way that's going to bring resiliency in my life? So yeah, that's kind of what my morning pages was about. It's about bouncing back and like having life be less about like maintaining such a perfect vibe all the time, and more about accepting that crap happens, life happens, and it's less about always being energetically put together and more about being able to bounce back, and more about being able to deal with life and having the skills to be able to deal with life and still remain and come back to that place of peace. Anyway, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know, and I would love to do more of it. So thank you for watching and listening.